Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome back to my channel. Until then, even though it's February, Happy New Year to everyone that's watching. And because it's February, Happy Black History Month. I wanted to start my first video of the year by sharing with you guys just what my thoughts are, or at least like what my theme is going to be for the new year, and share with you the many goals that I'm just going to be focusing on for the year. I figured this would be a great way to, of course, just kind of keep like a video diary of what I'm trying to do and stay in touch with you guys, but also share with you guys some of my goals and my focuses for this year. After kind of getting through 2020, I wanted to take the first month of the year to just kind of settle down from 2020, to settle down from the holidays. There were just certain aspects of like the last quarter of the year that were a bit stressful. I was a bit overwhelmed, and so I wanted to be able to take this first month to really think and reflect on what it is that I wanted to focus on for this year, even though I had like the end of the year to kind of think about what I wanted to do for the new year. But I'm noticing that that's becoming a bit of a habit for me by just taking, some years I'm a little bit better at it. I'll take like the first couple of weeks of January to figure out what it is I truly want to focus on. But I wanted to take this time to really slow down and really reflect on it, and it really did take some time to think about what the goals are. So as far as my theme, I didn't really pick, like, I wanted to pick a word, but it was really tough to pick just one word. So I kind of had like a couple of words and a couple of phrases. So for me, my theme or my thought for 2021 is peace and completion. So there's a few projects or things that I started in 2020 that I did not finish, and I want to just take the time to truly complete them. It doesn't matter if it's late, I just want to complete the project. And the same goes for even some of the videos that I've filmed. There's quite a few videos. I've had days where I'll batch film some different things, or I will get inspired on something or about something, and then I don't end up uploading the video because I don't think that it's probably going to do that well, because I'm such a small channel and I don't really get a lot of views. And so at this point, it doesn't matter. The whole point is to complete the project. I get inspired a lot. I have a lot of ideas, and so I feel like if I don't act on them and fully complete the project, then I won't know how well the project will do, and I won't know how I feel if I don't actually complete the project. So that's a huge thing for me. And because 2020 was a little bit tumultuous, not so much of just the pandemic, but just finances. I was in 2 car accidents last year, like within a week. So there's still money to be made and saved to do the repairs on the car and things like that. That stressed me out a lot, and I don't want to have as much of that this year. I know there's going to be things that happen this year that I cannot help or control, but I just want to have a little bit more peace. I was really stressed out and anxious last year, and so peace and completion are two different things that I really want to focus on for this year and have more of. So if you were around 2020, you probably saw this really amazing guy have his own, like, basically a DIY commercial. This, used car salesman guy, I guess. And he had the most awesome, like, catchphrase.
What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside.
And so where the money reside for sure is going to be my catchphrase for this year. Just my little saying that I want to go to. Just when I'm feeling like not motivated, I do want to make sure that I am making money this year and saving money this year, and that's going to be a goal that I share with you in a little bit. But I just loved how he made me feel when he said it. I loved seeing the video, and I love that just in the midst of whatever may be going on, there's certain things that catch on that you just say, and it just instantly makes you feel better, or it shifts your mindset. And so that's going to be the catchphrase that I use this year, just to be able to keep my mindset right on saving money, on making money, and just putting me in a better mood. So let's talk goals. I tried to split them up into like different categories, and some things kind of overlap. Because it's 2021, I thought it would be fun to try to have at least 21 goals. I know that that's a lot. So I've got to recount. I don't know that I have 21 at this point, or I think that I do. But they probably There's probably a little bit more than that. I'm not sure. We will see. I'm going to consult my notes here. So the categories that I have everything in is self-care, finances, self-improvement, health, and then just my own personal space here at home / So in terms of self-care, I noticed for sure last year I did not do a whole lot of taking care of myself. I wasn't really focused on it. I was in very much a work mode last year, and so I want to make sure that I prioritize that. And as far as health or self-care goes, I want to make sure that I'm establishing a nighttime routine and establishing a hair care routine. Those are two different things that for the longest time, I will say 2020, I was trying to be as intentional as possible to have a morning routine, and I feel like I kind of have one. It's nothing that's super regimented, but I at least have something that I do, even if it varies each morning. So I want to make sure that in the nighttime that I establish something at night to really help myself wind down from the day, because I do just a lot of work during the day, and so I want to make sure that I'm doing things to help me to relax and calm down from a long work day. And then I definitely want to establish a hair care routine. I neglected my hair a lot last year. I at least did not overly manipulate my hair since I'm a natural, but I want to make sure that I'm taking care of it. I did not have a lot of wash days at all last year, and with everything going on with the pandemic, and just making sure that I'm not having to expose every part of me when I go outside, I just kept it covered. I kept it in twists. But yeah, wash days were few and far between, so I want to make sure that I do that. I want to make sure that I'm doing some more DIYs. I enjoy crafting projects and DIY projects, and I didn't really get into them like I wanted to last year, so I want to make sure that I do that this year and make that a focus. I find that as a form of self-care for myself, and I just find it therapeutic. I want to just increase the plants that I have, so I've been getting a lot of just those little plant kits at Target where you can grow a plant. I've bought a few plants last year. I have a few. I've got an aloe plant that I bought, plus I've got a couple of big aloe, and I want to be able to plant those. The small one that I have now is already growing pups, and so I want to make sure that I'm taking care of those and transplanting them. Another thing for me that's really therapeutic. And I want to be able to try like one new thing a week. So whether that's like checking out a hiking trail here, or as things are opening up, and pretty much things are, just kind of braving going out since we're going to have to wear masks anyway, maybe checking out like a museum or just some sort of event that's here local within the area. So finances, that's something that's for sure like really important to me. And so I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing savings, especially after the last year having the 2 car accidents. I want to make sure that I'm saving money. So for sure, obviously the car has to be repaired, because I've got like a really bad, it's bad on the like passenger side, so that has to be repaired, and then the back does have to be repaired as well. So definitely some body work done on the car. But as far as savings go, I have like 3 or 4 things I want to make sure that I'm focusing on in terms of savings. School is one thing that I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing. I do want to go back to school, and I'm working right now to work on my application process, and then of course saving the money that's needed for that. I definitely want to make sure that I've got the money I need saved for an emergency. I'm going to start at $1,000 and let that be my focus. But that for sure is something that I want to have on hand and build on once I hit my $1,000 goal. And then of course I want to make sure that I'm saving for traveling. Traveling was something I wanted to do in 2020. I had a couple of trips that were kind of in play with some people that I am friends with on Facebook, and we were already kind of starting to plan and thinking about places we were going to go late in the year. My mom and I had a cruise that we had booked for like October 2020, but then the pandemic happened and we weren't able to go, so that had to get canceled. And so I want to be able to take this year to save up the money needed to travel. If I'm able to do a little bit of traveling, at least within those states, depending on how lockdowns are going or how states are as far as being open, then I might consider doing that. But yeah, definitely saving up for some traveling. And then I want to be able to save up for home. And by that I mean just for when I eventually want to move out and have my own place. and so I want to have a savings for that. And then again, with finances, I want to make a point to use what I have. I'm really trying to not spend a whole lot this year, so I'm going to definitely be having a couple of savings challenges or like no spend weeks or months. But I want to make a point to like use what I have instead of going out and buying new stuff. Especially in terms of like clothes. Rather than going out and getting new clothes, I don't always wear the clothes that I buy, and so I want to use what I have there. Or if it's something that I feel like could use a refresher, I could maybe DIY it and upcycle it. So that's definitely just along the lines of using what I have. And then I want to make a point with my gig work, and then as I'm kind of trickling back into Mary Kay, I want to make a point to earn minimum $800 a week, and then push to earn $1,000 a week. I've not put in like the number of months that I want to do that, but I want that to be a focus so that I have. When I sat down and did like a yearly budget last year, having at least that much per week or per week, that is enough to finance all the different things in terms of expenses and subscriptions I may have, savings that I need to have. That particular range, 800 to 1,000 a week, was enough to fund all those things. So, self-improvement. So, I feel like I have like a long list with that one. So, for sure, playing in makeup more. I do enjoy makeup, I just don't wear it a lot, and I think with 2020, there wasn't any places that I was going. I did eventually start kind of putting on some makeup just on days to just switch things up to make me feel good. But one of the things I had done, I think early 2020, before we had a lockdown, I had gone and done like a makeup certification course. And so I did that, but I never followed up with meeting all the different people that I needed to do faces and do makeovers on them. They had suggested doing, I think, like 30 to 40 looks or something like that on different people, and I hadn't done that, and by the time I kind of was thinking about it, we were in lockdown. So I want to make a point to play in makeup more. I'm going to try and do that for sure by myself first, and just getting back into the swing of things and getting familiar with that, playing with different looks, and then starting to meet some people and work on some different looks on them as well. I want to get back into my music. That totally fizzled out, and I know that my guitar teacher would like check in and be like, hey, like, are you okay? He even checked on me just in terms of George Floyd, and so that took a toll on me, but I had totally just fizzled out of all my guitar lessons. So I want to make a point to get back into my guitar lessons, and I miss singing, so I want to make sure that I get back into that. So I've had a couple of ideas of what I want to do in terms of singing, because guitar is not a problem, it's a matter of contacting my teacher and getting back into my weekly lessons. But with singing, I've had some ideas of what I want to do. And so now it's that whole, I have the idea, going back to the theme of completion, and like going through with the idea and just playing around with how I'm going to bring that into fruition and then just do it. Getting back into dance is another one. So last year, again, 2020 just was heinous to everybody. I was in the process of training and getting in shape and getting ready to audition for some dance teams. And I wanted to at least, I wasn't anticipating making any team, but I wanted to have that experience to audition. And so I'm sure things are going to look a bit different this year. I don't know if it's going to be virtual or in person, but I want to get back into dance and get myself just back into shape for that so that I can audition. And I miss it. That's another part or aspect of performance that I enjoy, and I want to get back into that. So for sure, getting back into dance. My goal is to try to do or learn like 2 new dances a month, just to get my mind ready for memorizing dances and learning choreography. I think that'd be a great way to just get myself prepared for what would be coming. So then, and then of course, just stemming off of that, auditioning for a dance team. I know it probably could be a little bit strange to have that in self-improvement, but for me, I feel like that's a way to improve myself, just getting through that audition process, and I'm already having to work on myself to be ready for auditions, and so I think that's a great way to improve myself. And then the last thing in terms of self-improvement would be to apply to and attend school. One of the things I am working on is I'm working on getting my TEFL, and so I have a like mentor or advisor that's helping me get ready to enroll in this program to be able to earn my TEFL, to earn my TEFL. So there's going to be lots of different classes that I have to take. And I think that the program is either 4 weeks or 8 weeks. I have to double check with her. But by the time that's done, I will have a TEFL and I will be able to teach. And so I want to be able to do that. And then I do want to apply to actually go to school so that I can finish that as well. But teaching has been something that I've been wanting to do. And being able to travel and teach and travel outside of the country to be able to teach eventually is something I want to do. And this particular school that I want to go to is really, really great at preparing you to be able to do that. Okay, so last section is my health. The two major things for health that I want to focus on is, of course, to lose weight. But in order to do that, I want to be able to establish a really good workout routine. So I've not figured out for myself whether I want to work out in the morning or in the evening. I know people have their opinions on which time works better. Sometimes it varies for me. I usually could work out in the morning, but then for some reason I'm a little bit tired and I'm sleepy, so I'll work out in the evening time. But then sometimes when I work out in the evening time, I'm a little bit wired. So we'll see how that goes, but those are the two things that I want to really focus on. I need to go back to my notes from when I met with our health and fitness mentor within the cheer program that I was in, and just kind of look through and see what the goal weight was, because I don't have a set number of pounds yet that I want to focus on losing, but I know I need to at least set that number and have that posted up so that I can focus on that. So those are the two things for sure I want to work on when it comes to health. In terms of my space and just miscellaneous items, I do want to declutter some more. I'm still in the process of decluttering my room, and so I want to reduce my room by half. I want to get rid of half the stuff that's in there, because it's not just my stuff that's in there, it's stuff that's around the house, or if there's not a place to put it. My room, I feel is always kind of the last resort of putting the things in my room. So I want to reduce things by half and repurpose or utilize space in a different way. I just don't want to have as much stuff. I don't really care to have a lot of things, and so yeah, I want to make a point to just reduce my room by half and making sure that I just don't want to have a lot of stuff. I want to get rid of it. I want to expand my circle of friends. I have great friends on Facebook. I do have a couple of friends here within the area that I talk to from time to time, but I want to expand that and kind of branch out a little bit. I don't know. Because I'm introverted and I'm okay with being at home. 2020 was not a problem for me in terms of having to stay at home or reduce contact with people, because I'm fine with that. But I do find that I do seek friendship and I do seek companionship, and I want to be able to meet new people. And I think it would be helpful for me. So I want to expand my circle of friends for sure. And then the last thing would be to go on a date. I have never been on a date. I did attempt doing that in 2020. I attempted some online dating apps, and that was kind of, I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought that I would. I think because of just online dating in general, it's not always the best. But I'm going to try it again this year. I don't know specifically when. Every time I think I want to, I'm just kind of I'm fine. But at this point, much like I want to expand my circle of friends and just have companionship that way, I would like to have the companionship of a significant other. It would be nice, as I have never dated before. And so I just want to know what it's like to just have coffee and conversations with someone that is interested in me. So we will see how that goes. Alright guys, so those are my goals for the year. I don't know what the final tally is as far as how many goals that is. I know it's a lot, but it gives me something to think about and focus on, and hopefully it helped you. I don't know if you're still kind of struggling and kind of in the thick of what I want to focus on for this year, what do I want my goals to be, but that's kind of what I want to focus on. I just feel like I don't have any excuse to not try to achieve something, and I'm not expecting for all of these things on my list to be ticked off. I just want to have very much an intentional mindset of the peace that I want to have and completion that I want to have, and I feel like I have something each day Some of this is more so of like having that habit of doing things over and over again, like having my nighttime routine and my hair care routine. That's something that's a nightly or a weekly basis. And so some of that is more so just having a new habit for something to create that routine. But I just want to, and I don't feel overwhelmed, even though there's a lot of things on here. I don't feel overwhelmed. I have workbooks that I use that I love that help you to just kind of focus on things from day to day or from week to week. But I just wanted to have something that really covered like a whole circle, a whole gambit of things. And so that was kind of my thought process in terms of all the different things I wanted to focus on. So I don't know. Hopefully that helped you if you're kind of still figuring out what you want to do or focus on for 2021. But I at least wanted to share that with you guys here and let that be my first video for the year. Yeah, and let you guys know. And then, of course, you will be able to see this year. That should actually be another goal. Is to just be more consistent with uploads. But you'll be seeing throughout this year how things are going with me. So, yeah, that's going to do it for now. And I will check in with you guys with a new video. Until then, bye.